So this here is the Saturn V rocket, a Lego one that I just built recently. But before we talk about the rocket itself, let's talk about its history. The spark for the idea of going to the moon was started by the space race that was going on between the USA and Russia. The Soviet Union was able to launch astronaut Yuri Gagarin into space before the US, and the US wanted to one-up the Soviets. Since going to the moon had never actually been done before, to help them, NASA hired scientist Werner von Braun. Von Braun actually worked right alongside Hitler to develop missiles for the Germans. The US knew that it would be either the Soviets or themselves that would get von Braun. They acted fast and got him along with 700 other men, with 15 tons of paperwork and many German V-2 bombs. Von Braun had quite a lot of experience in building missiles, and rockets are essentially controlled big missiles. Now with von Braun in hand, they set off designing the Saturn V. The Saturn V was developed for the Apollo missions. The first launch took place on November 9, 1967, with Apollo 4. Apollo 6 followed in 1968. Both times, the Saturn V was launched without crews. This launch tested the Saturn V rocket. Once it was certified, the first crewed Saturn V launch was Apollo 8. On this mission, astronauts orbited the moon, but did not land. On Apollo 9, the crew tested the Apollo moon lander by orbiting the Earth. On Apollo 10, the Saturn V launched the lunar lander to the moon. The crew tested the lander in space, but did not actually land it on the moon.
15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. We have a liftoff. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
In 1969, Apollo 11 was the first mission to land astronauts on the moon. The crew of Apollo 11 consisted of Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. Michael Collins stayed back in the command module as Armstrong and Aldrin descended to the moon on the lunar lander.
Yeah, I'm going to step off the limb now. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
This was followed by Apollo 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. All of these were successfully carried out using the Saturn V with no issues. In part 2 of this series, I'll go more in depth into how the Saturn V works.